Finally, I get to interview Mr. A. I've been looking forward to
We got here.
Yes. So you're the 7th. Yes, 7th and final.
The final.
Yes. Okay, please, before I speak, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Ahmad. I am his lecturer in playwriting. I'm an educator and a playwright.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. First of all, tell us what you think of the play that you watch.
Which one? The one that you performed?
Yes.
The one with Grace Lee Koo?
Yes. I promised everyone to ask you this.
Okay.
My peers, my group.
So as you can see, whenever people tell me to give them some thoughts about their performance, my first reaction will be, how do I deliver ideas based on what they need? You know, very often people say, hey, can you give me some advice? How's it like? Do they need it because they want to improve? Do they need it because they want to be affirmed? Do they need it because they need information to write a report? So what I share, eventually I have to think very carefully, what will that do? Largely because as an educator and even as an artist, your words have legs. It has a very strong impact. So among friends, in a company of friends, I would be a bit more unhinged. But when I'm dealing with young artists like you know, who devise performances, young people who are very new to performance making, when they ask for that, I genuinely would always focus on the good.
Okay.
It doesn't mean the performance is perfect, you know, but I see a lot of merits in their performance. I see a lot of heart in their work, right? And I think what I particularly enjoyed about the performance that you have designed for your applied theatre module was basically you were very cognizant of who that performance was for. It was an education-centric performance, right? So you were very clear that audiences would be those who had educational experiences, right? So the way in which you pitch your ideas, the way in which you plan the scenes, the way in which you create characters and the interaction with the audience, the dialogic nature of that interaction was because you were very clear this is befitting or this is to serve this audience, right? And that's an applied theatre logic.
Yes.
Right? Because in applied theatre, when we create performances, it is not for entertainment per se. It is to achieve specific outcomes, whether educational, social, whether it's to, you know, deliver some messages. There is a clear objective than art for art's sake.
Yes. Okay, that's all your comment?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Okay. Okay. All right. So initially my interview was about balancing life as an artist and life as a teacher, right? And then as I formulate these questions, turns out it goes beyond that.
Ooh.
I feel like it's more of a dream versus reality kind of thing.
Oh my God, so metaphorical,
Yes,
so figurative.
It's a dream versus reality kind of thing. So, but before I get into the actual questions, I want you to react to this sentence, okay?
Okay.
I've tested to all the other lecturers. I think it's safe.
Okay.
Okay. Our teachers are failed artists.
Okay, that's my reaction. I'm like, okay, thank you for your opinion.
No, that's not my opinion. I saw this somewhere, right? Because in one of Netflix show called Kaminsky Method.
Of course.
They said once in it, like, if you're so good at acting, right? Why you teach? You're supposed to be acting, right? You're so busy with your acting job, and I don't know if you ever received that kind of thing, right? If you're so good, you keep writing play and you don't even have time to teach, something like that, right? Yeah. So, what do you think about that?
I think that's a fallacious argument. It's a wrong way of seeing it. The role of the artist is to be hyphenate.
Okay, that's another new word.
Right? A hyphenate means you will have arts educator dash playwright dash dash dash. So your capabilities is so long.
Okay.
You are an artist and therefore you only make art. I'm like, really? That's the only thing I do?
Okay.
So if I sell things, I'm in sales now, I'm not an artist anymore. God forbid. Right? I think the role of the artist is to be a hyphenate. Because artistry does not exist only in art. The idea of what it means to be an artist, to have artistry, does not mean it only survives, exists, thrives in art. Because if that is really true, that means every time an artist makes a work, when he finishes a work, he's then a failed artist. He must always be in the middle of a project.
That makes sense.
He will constantly be moving from one project to the other. Right?
Yeah.
So if you ask me, that concept of you are an artist, you always have to make art, is a capitalist interpretation of what it means to be a person, a thing. You are an artist, you can only make art, you should always be making art. You are a farmer, you should only be farming. If you're not farming, you're a failed farmer.
It's very interesting logic. Okay.
Right? But I think more importantly, because when people always talk about artists and art, I would rather talk about artists and artistry. Right? So as an arts educator, as a playwright lecturer, I am in class teaching them the journey of what it means to write a play. They explore different techniques, explore different exercises. And I'm also thinking of possible plot lines. I'm also listening, interpreting. I'm also inspired by their stories. I'm also, are they not the same processes and steps a playwright embarks on when writing a play? Right?
Yes.
So
right.
when I am teaching playwriting, I am tapped into my artistry. I am a working artist while I am a lecturer or when I'm lecturing playwriting.
I will keep using that word from now on. Hyphenate.
A hyphenate.
Hyphenate.
I'm doing hyphen, ATE, right?
Okay.
So the reason why it's important for us to be hyphenates is because you must realize, firstly, art could mean different things, which means the artist can also mean different things. Or not different things, they can take on different roles, I guess.
Yes.
Right? And you've learned applied theatre. You saw how in non-performative settings, theatre could be used for social community work and education and so many other political purposes and roles, whatever. That means the artist cuts across so many areas, so many departments, so many worlds.
Yeah, I agree.
A shaman is an artist.
Yes, I agree.
A cook is an artist.
Yeah.
If you cook every day, if you're cooking for sick people, you cook every day, you have perfected making porridge. How is it any different from a painter who paints every day?
I mean, it's called culinary art, right?
Culinary arts, exactly,
Culinary art,
right?
Yes.
So I feel as if it's a very finite and a very limiting point of view to see how good someone is as an artist simply by the volume of work that they produce.
Volume, okay.
Right? I mean, Shakespeare wrote all those plays. No one gives a shit about him. He died and now he's so freaking popular.
Until now.
The entire time in his life, he was a failed artist, right?
Okay, because I have this concern, right? This concern when I grow old, and then
This is what young people say. Do you see that? When I grow old, oh my god, I cannot. Okay, never mind.
when I grow old, and I look.
He's pointing that way, not pointing when I grow old. What? I tell you. But
the young.
That way.
You see how
that
young
way.
he is, right?
Okay.
Because and then I look back and then like I have so many regrets in life, right? And my question to you would be, okay, first of all, how long have you been playwriting? Like
Since 2010, so it's been 14 years.
Wow. And are there any point of time
That I want to give up and not write ever again? Every day. Every day.
Okay,
I feel
elaborate.
like maybe I don't want to write plays anymore. Maybe I'll just teach, or maybe I'll be reading books. Maybe I will do more like PT stuff, gym stuff. Because you see, because you see, my identity isn't fully defined by by an artist. It took me a very long time to call myself a playwright, more so than an educator.
Wow.
I spent the past 10 years of my life teaching and writing. I've been writing longer than I taught, but I would always foreground myself as an educator more than a playwright. And it's not because I'm ashamed of it or I'm not very popular. I'm no Alfian Saad. You know, why would I want to be Alfian Saad? We already have an Alfian Saad, right?
No.
But the journey of an artist and realizing that, am I really an artist, is when even when you have absolutely nothing, no deadlines, you have no deliverables whatsoever, you're free to do anything you want. Your instinct, the one thing you want to do is, I want to tell stories. Oh, I love what conversation they're having, they're eavesdropping. You're naturally drawn to the art. You have an affinity to it, right? Okay. So every day I'm like, oh my God, I want to sit down and in front of the screen and bleed and write and think and write sketches and create characters and be inspired by, you know, all the stories that I hear or I can imagine, blah, blah, blah. But I also am so busy teaching, I'm so busy caring for my parents, I'm so busy wanting to read, I'm so busy finding opportunities to have a social life, to meet students and blah, blah, blah. There's some things I want to do, right? And in those pockets of space, I write plays, I do Instagram updates, there are things I want to do lah.
Your Instagram captions is usually like I really enjoy your Instagram captions.
Oh, thank you. So a lot of my friends told me that if you spend lesser time on your Instagram updates, Ahmad, you could actually be a more prolific playwright. Ouch!
That's a backhanded compliment.
It's true, like no, actually it's true, right? So, do you know who hates writing the most?
Playwright?
Yeah, writers. We will do whatever. I will clean my house with a toothbrush.
Wow.
I will bake a 3-layer cake from scratch. Why not? Right? Than to write a play. We are avoiding, largely because so much of what we need as ingredients to write a play, other than time, sometimes a deadline, is space to think and connect. So, one of the things I've realized in my time so far is people always tell me, when you write plays, you need to like quieten the voices in your head, all the whatever, put it aside, it's most important. So you can really focus on the life on page. It is such a difficult thing to do. Because half the time I'm like, oh shit, I need to do this, oh my god, I need to blah blah blah. Right? Or I'm hungry, right? Yes. Oh my god, how many likes did that person get for that? You know, your mind is constantly multitasking. It's constantly doing different things, and to focus on one thing is tough. It's how I feel when I have to sit down and mark scripts or mark essays. It's how we feel when we have to sit down and read a book for a module. We will do everything and anything but read until last minute panic things and okay, right? So it's what we entailed the journey to be like, right?
So do you want to be a teacher since the very beginning of?
No. God, no.
Interesting.
Of course not.
Okay, so what is that? I keep asking these questions to all other lecturers. What is that point where you choose like, okay, you know what? I cannot really put myself and really just, what do you say? How do you say?
Can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah, cause okay, I grow older. I have to pay the bill. What's that? Is it when you
responsibilities, right? You have responsibilities, you have things to do, you have things to pay for. What can I do in my life? What can I trade my blood and energy and sweat and tears for in order to pay for that life, right? Yeah, I'm constantly thinking of that.
Because Wendy told me when I asked the question, she said family.
I don't understand that question then. Why? How is family?
Because
what motivates you?
Yeah, motivates you to actually
work?
to get something that's more sustainable.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because she wants to start a family and then like need to rearrange like some priority. So therefore, yeah. So is there any point of time where you like, okay, no, I cannot really hang on to this playwriting gigs, if that's a term. So so what's that? Okay, I need to start doing something more sustainable, like teaching. When is
if
that?
you want me to sit down at home, face my laptop and write plays with the threat of losing my house, with the threat of not being able to pay for food, how the hell am I going to write a play?
Yeah.
If my basic needs are not met, shelter, food, some form of a social interaction with other human beings are not met, how am I supposed to write a play? You can't, what? Right? So for Wendy, it's family. For me, it's financial stability. I have a lifestyle that I have, right? Am I obsessed with money to a point where I must hit a certain digit? No, not really.
Okay.
I work hard enough to have enough to pay for the things I want, to have savings, to support my family, blah, blah, blah. So all that is to make sure that I have the means to support the life that I want.
Yeah.
That's it. It then changes if, for example, you have a goal, for example, right? So if you are planning to do your master's or your degree overseas and you have to build a portfolio, then obviously I'll ramp up my art making to build my portfolio for that, right? So it really depends on the cause or on the season.
Urgency as well.
Yeah.
The urgency. Okay. Of course. That being said, because you've been teaching, okay, you write since 2010 and you teach since?
I taught since 2014 officially, but before that I was like giving tuition, I was like teaching in school how to do oral presentation. So it's like, you know, whatever part-time jobs we get as an undergrad, you gotta do it, right? Just to make money, right?
So would you say it's 50-50 now between playwright and teacher, or like 70-30, or like
oh wow, this is a very good question because I never really saw a need to calibrate.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And perhaps I should, because I'm not very good at managing my time. But you see, my other question for you is, that means you're saying if I'm teaching, I'm not honing my artistry. If I tell you right now, oh, my time is like 70% teaching, 30% playwriting, then you're assuming that 70% there is nothing playwriting related in my 70%. When, oh my God, being in the classroom, being with other children, other colleagues, being in an environment where I have friends who would share stories, all that feeds my artistry. How do you delineate parts of your life like that?
Okay.
Being a hyphenate also means you see the intersections, you see how they're all related. And you must believe that all these things will inform you of what you want to do, of what you want to practice.
Okay, I think it's clear to me. Now, I want to move on from life as an artist and life as a teacher to life as a teacher only.
Ooh.
Okay, because this from a perspective as a student, and maybe you can share your experience when you were a student as well. I come from an acting school with a very demanding teacher. Okay, so
in Singapore?
No, in Jakarta.
In Jakarta.
Yes. So he's kind of the mentor. So I stayed in a dojo kind of thing, right? So I became his assistant, and I spent 1.5 years there. and his teaching method was very like harsh,
Strict.
it's very strict. So it worked for me. It pushed me to train more, to be better. Do you watch this movie Whiplash?
No.
You haven't? Okay, so there's this scene. Do you mind if I do? You,
No, please tell me.
Okay, so there's this scene in a bar where a teacher met his former student, because this teacher was expelled from the school, right? Because his way of teaching is like that.
Okay.
It's very harsh, like
Draconian, that's the word.
okay, draconian. Okay.
Hyphenate, draconian, synonymous.
Right, the comment below is the new word that you learn.
Spell.
Okay. So, and he said, I will never apologize for how I teach.
Okay, good for him.
I will never apologize, because there are no great artists. It's born from tender loving care. Okay,
Or maybe he has not met any artist who have
maybe.
who was born with a lot of tender loving care.
Yes, maybe. So there are no two words. I remember vividly the line was, there are no two words more dangerous than good job. So he is that kind of character, right? It's very harsh. Then good job. Imagine if you suck on stage, right? And then your teacher came to you and say, it's okay, that's no problem. You've done good. Next time try to be better, okay? And then the students start to think like, yeah, maybe what I did wasn't really that bad. And then you start not training. You stop training, and then you didn't really push yourself to be better. My question would be, is it different now? Like in terms of how teachers treat their students, and how did you deal with it back then when you studied? Like, did you have that kind of experience where like, no, AHMAD, do better, come on, right? Because I had the kind of experience with my teachers like, can you even act antang? And I was like, what? I came here all the way from Surabaya and you told me this. But like, okay, I have to train. And then I start to hone my artistry, right? So, what do you think about that?
Oh my god, there's so much to unpack right there.
Okay.
I begin with this, okay? I begin with teachers teach usually in the way how they were taught. Like parents would parent their children in the same way how they were parented.
Usually.
Yeah. No, I say like 99% of the time.
Okay.
Right? So what we see here is, if I was traumatized to a point of being excellent, then trauma is my pedagogy. I need to break a soul in order for this person to have some form of rebuilding, and that's what actors do, they rebuild. Right? But what happens when the actor is not working? There's no character. When the actor has to sit with himself, when the actor has to be him, what resources does he have? Right? So as you can see, I am of the belief, and this is genuinely because I am a storyteller.
Okay.
I genuinely believe that everyone has a story. So the philosophies of how you teach certain things, how you make art, I think will be unique to each person. And I can tell you right now, I feel every person has a story. Every person has a story that explains why they are the way they are. Right?
Yeah. That's something that I learned in your class as well.
And when we see someone else, I hope we view a person with curiosity. Why are they like that? Why do they behave like that? Oh, that's an interesting way of blah, blah, blah. Instead of, fuck lah, why the person like that? Which is judgment, right? And very often the role of the educator, especially when you're trying to impart skills, is to see how well they've learned, right? Because we often assume how well a student performs, how well a student is based on the quality of my teaching. Which is such an outdated way of thinking. You're assuming here the student is a cup, an empty cup, right? And we are pouring. So that's what Paulo Freire says. He is the person, he is the philosopher that created the theatre of the oppressed when we look at forum theatre.
Okay.
Right? He says...
Sorry, what's his name again?
Paulo Freire.
Paulo Freire.
He believes that we are living in a society where there is a banking model of education. That students are pretty much money I invested in you, I bank money in you. So the assumption made here is students are blank, empty, clean, know nothing.
Okay.
And the reason why you know a lot of things is because I taught you. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm hard on you because ultimately it's about me. You being on stage is in fact a reflection of how good I was as a teacher or a mentor to you.
Okay.
Right? That's one way of seeing it. I choose to be more curious. Not everyone I know, all my students will be a playwright. And that was one thing I specifically highlighted in my first lesson. I'm not here to turn you to playwrights. You think what? 12 weeks and become playwright. Hello, I'm 14 years in, I'm not sure whether I'm a playwright or not. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm here to equip you with skills. Right? Some of you, the skills will come to you like fish in the water. Some of you, the skills need a little bit more time.
Okay.
We may not have that time, but you have your whole life, and somehow what is taught will somehow click and make sense. So can I just tell you that in the course of teaching you guys, some students tell me, oh, Mr. Ahmad, do you know that now I kind of like watch movies or plays and I come like, that was inside the incident. Oh my god, that was the climax. They somehow are able to see things rather differently. Would that mean I am a successful, effective teacher? I don't know. Because I think she was directed by herself to see things that way. I don't know how much role I play in that. So I feel, for an educator, in your case, my philosophy as a teacher to my students is, I am not transformational. I am not here to transform you. I'm here not to make you into a version of me or mini-me's. I am not interested in painting a color of myself all over you.
Sorry, can I pause you for a second there? Because you said you're teaching a class. I know not all of you want to be a playwright, but what if you are teaching a class that's like, this is a playwriting class, I want to be a playwright. Would you approach the students differently then?
Of course.
Okay.
Right? But as a human being and as a playwright myself, practicing playwright, and as an educator, perhaps what I know, my way and style of teaching you may not work for you.
Okay.
Which means perhaps we need to find another way of how you can be supported. I now become the student because I need to find new ways and learn how to teach you. Right?
Okay.
I am in no position to always assume a superior position, role in a student's life. I know better. Maybe I have more responsibilities. Maybe I have to write a report lah, mark your script lah, make sure you da da da. But I am not here to assume that I know better and I know it all. I will solve all your problems. I am not your parent. And guess what? Your parents can't do the same either. Right? So I am not transformational. I genuinely believe in that.
Okay.
I potentially can be activational. In the way that I teach, I might activate something in you. I hope I do.
Okay.
Right? And the reason why is because I am so enthusiastic and high energy. I mean, there are some students who sleep in my class, but you know, the Donovans and the whatever. Yeah, pow, name drop, right? They will sleep in my class. They will be distracted. I hope it's because he's really tired or something.
Do you mind if I actually put without edit?
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
And the reason I feel like I'm activational, other than because I'm so enthusiastic, high energy, is because I feel ultimately teaching is about connecting to another person. I'm connecting to you. Maybe I'm connecting the ratio is 1 is to 20, 1 is to 15, right?
You are I think the top of mind of lecture that's like that I think don't force their taste on the students. You know what I mean? Because you keep saying that like I cannot teach you how to write a play. I give you the skill set, and I think that's very crucial, especially as an art educator, right? Because
why would I want you to be an artist like me? After all, an educator is a failed artist. Allegedly. So why would I want to raise failed artists?
Yeah, because I keep hearing this stories from students from the other departments saying that, like this lecture received the students' work, right? And then like, actually, I prefer it if you do it more of this thing, and then they keep saying that to the other students, and I was like, wait, doesn't it make the class one color? Then like, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So you must be very clear that as an educator, when you mark students' work, is it because of preference? I prefer this kind of play, this kind of topics. Or is it because, they have shown understanding. They have shown how tension can escalate through choices. What was the choice made? What was said? Ooh, there's an obstacle. How clear was that obstacle? That's what I'm looking for when I mark. Which is very, very hard.
Because you do have a preference, right? I mean,
we all have preferences, right? But this is not about me.
Yeah.
It's about what the students want. It's what the students think is important in that story.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you are... So, just to be clear, you weren't taught that kind of way?
No.
Okay. So, it's very positive for environment and stuff. Because I keep hearing that, this kind of teaching makes the new generations, the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, soft and they're not capable of, a lot of work, workload, high workload.
Why can't soft be strong? Why must only hard be strong?
They say hard times create strong men create good times create weak men.
See how sexist? Men.
Mad people. I blame the meme.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, whether it's soft, whether it's hard, we need both.
We need both.
But Antang, if every other lecturer is going to give you a hard time, if your Surabaya mentor gives you such a hard time, why would I want to contribute to that? Don't you think you, as a person, you are better equipped if you realize, I can do it this way, aka the stick, or I can also use a carrot. Isn't life realizing that I need to have a range of tools instead of just one tool, a very good, polished, sharp one tool? I should have different tools. I should have different experiences. I should have different people. I have different relationships with different people so I can get different advice. Or should I only be stuck to one? I don't want to create a cult. You know what I mean? But when I was a young artist growing up, I've had to deal with a variety.
Okay.
Right? And I had some of the best and some of the worst. Right?
Yeah.
And that is important. So that when I become an educator, I'm very clear, it feels good, it was useful, it was activational for me in these circumstances. So I will want to move myself towards being more like this.
It kind of reminds me of Karate Kid.
Okay, Mr. Miyagi.
What?
Mr. Miyagi. Wax on, wax off.
Miyagi.
Oh, wait. You're talking
the Jackie
about...
Chan.
No, you're talking about Karate Kid, the Will Smith
Yes,
kid
Will Smith.
version. Well,
Yes.
I am talking about... Okay, I'm telling my age. Yeah.
But yeah, so in the end of that, but you watched that, the Jackie Chan version?
No!
Okay. Yeah, so in the end, there are two products of different approach of teaching. That's mainly the point, because both of them excel.
Yeah.
But the ending, the winner was the Will Smith skit, which is from a tender loving care kind of approach. But anyway, okay. My last.
But as you can see, it's also dependent on the child. What is the child's needs?
And it takes a teacher's sensitivity to do
you
that,
guys are meeting me for 4 hours a week.
Yes.
2 days in an afternoon. You are doing playwriting for the very first time after spending 2 years of doing voice, movement, scene work.
And we're doing that while doing an industry project.
Right?
Practicing.
So I have that context in my head. I'm very aware that most of you don't want to be playwrights because you are going through actors training.
Yeah.
So why would I come in with guns blazing, rings really straight with a whiplash? Why would I do that?
Okay.
And more importantly, would I enjoy that? Would I enjoy being I would. But would I be sleeping well at night? I won't.
Okay. I guess that's not you. Right.
It can be me. I do that when the students' needs require a bit more strictness.
All right.
Right? But at the same time, you're also of a certain age.
Yes. Okay, my last thing would be, I want to touch on you. Maybe you can share your experience as a student again. Because I keep having this kind of thought where maybe because I witness it a lot from my peers. The more you think about grades, the more you don't really get good grades, and the more you're being playful, turns out the more you get better grades. But that's me. That's something that I experience. I want to know your thought on that, because my experience with my peers is like, Antang, what you get from playwriting? What you get? I don't know. Let me check.
He had an A, just so you know. Yeah, I gave him an A.
Yeah, so everybody's like asking everyone their grades. It's like, does it really matter? Because to me, the essence, because the joy for me of learning is that aha moment that
this
you
is
keep.
What people who get A would say. If you didn't get A, we will not have this interview. You will hate me.
I mean, the very first.
Am I not right or am I not right? Am I right?
Maybe. But I got B. I guess I put in work. It's so hard for you to get C actually. God, sorry. As long as you come to.
What a flex.
But the thing is, it never really matters to me. Okay, as long as I pass, and as long as I don't remodule, because that means I have to pay more and I have to burden my family more. That's my bare minimum. So, what's your thought in people studying art and the grades are the most important thing? And did that happen?
I am very conflicted about this because I know that the journey of learning playwriting together in class was fun. I liked you guys, you liked me. We liked what we were learning, we were writing, we were sharing, it was fun, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to assessment, am I going to give you good grades because of fun? Or am I going to give you good grades because the work that you've written was a good measurement of how well you applied the knowledge? A lot of them, when I had sat down with them, talked to them one-to-one, they gave me ideas and I gave ideas, and so it's feedback to me is never about you should do this, you should do that. Perhaps I would say you should read this and be inspired by this or look at these issues and ideas. I will not tell you how to write your play. I will tell you how there are different possibilities for this play, right? Different plot lines. And I want you to figure it out. Very often, the students who don't do very well have a cop-out. So they go to the easier ending. They always somehow don't build the tension. They somehow make it a matter of a coincidence. Or they are very interested in making it a happily ever after. Why? Is that the emotional reality of the character? Is that really the emotional truth of the character?
Okay.
right? You got me so invested in your story, and then like that. So I'm very aware that for playwriting, I was a very harsh marker. I will never ever deny that I'm a harsh marker.
Yeah.
But it's also because on the first day, I told everybody I have very high expectations. I said it's either you get an A and maintain it throughout, or you work towards an A. Your class wants to work towards an A. Okay lah, you work lah. The other class, no, we want an A and we'll maintain throughout. And the way that they prepare their class work, their readings, they did not do it well. When I talked about certain things in class, they was, what's going on? How? And you think I'm gonna give you an A? Come on.
Okay.
I work very hard to teach my kids.
Yeah.
And I tell them that if you work as hard with me, you'll get your A. Do I see them working very hard? I know.
Okay. So,
Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps they are working very hard. And it's just not at the level that is expected of them. And perhaps it's my fault. And I need to be a lot clearer what it means to work really, really hard. You see, so that's the thing about being an artist, which I do all the time. I sound like I'm doubtful, but I'm actually just very, very reflexive.
Okay.
I can look at myself and talk about what didn't work, what and be as harsh as I want to myself.
Okay. That would be the end.
Aww. Don't be a stranger, Anton, since you're going to be in Singapore now.
Yes. But before that, just one final question, I promise. I don't know, I think a lot of people have asked you these questions. But what would AHMAD be if he's not a playwright or a teacher or anything related to art industry?
I will open an ice cream shop and I will come up with the most fantastical flavors.
You love ice creams.
I don't really love eating it, but I like the idea of people are so happy to buy ice cream though. Can you imagine being part of that joy every day? You know, just giving them a tester, they're just so happy, and then you get a cone or you get a cup and they're like, this is so good, and you're like, yes bitch, it is good. And I want to have like the coolest flavors, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that 2-3 years time, I don't know.
And finally, and I do this in the end of the semester because this is not a bribery.
Yeah, he already got an A.
So this is a batik for you. I know you already have a lot of this. Maybe.
I love batik. Thank you very much.
Okay, you can open it. Yes, sure.
Oh my god.
So I asked my parents to bring this here. So it's a batik print. Please don't ask me which kind of batik print is this, because
no, I'm not even gonna think about that. I love the colors. Ooh, it's very leopard tiger print.
Yeah, it's a scarf. So it's a scarf. So thank you, AHMAD, for being my lecturer.
Aww.
I really enjoy your class, and I really do. Not necessarily.
To me, that is the greatest compliment.
Really?
Yeah, because what you're saying is the time I spent in class with you brought you so much joy and comfort and confidence. And
I can say this on behalf of my friends. Right, and they say that like I don't only learn about playwriting, but I also learn about life, because I mean technically playwriting is about learning about life, right? And
learning the art.
I start
art
to see
is about learning about life.
Yes, I start to see people differently. I start to see the situation differently, because there's the conflict. There's a conflict that's affected by everyone. There's a horizontal conflict, vertical conflict, everything, right? So yes, I enjoy your class. So please keep teaching. Is there any upcoming play, maybe?
No.
Okay.
I have essays tomorrow. Are you serious?
He's a very busy lecturer.
But I am always interested in listening to stories, and I'm always thinking, what if this character said this and that? And that's what I mean, you see. Just because I'm not sitting down bleeding over a laptop writing doesn't mean I'm not engaged in my art. I'm not engaged in my artistry. Right?
Yes.
So having conversations like this is also very good for my artistry, right? And I think we need, as those who've been touched by the magic of art, those who aspire to be artists, even do not apologize for having to do non-art related stuff to keep yourself alive, because even when you're doing those things, you are sharpening your artist skill set, because everything you do contains an artistry.
I'll clip that for a TikTok clip. Like this. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.